I kept thinking about that feeling I had of not necessarily identifying 100% with what I thought it meant to be Libyan. Art became more like vital for me to like actually go about like my day-to-day. Hi, I'm Neem. I'm 20 years old. I'm an artist. I've like always been into art since I was little, but it didn't really form into my relationship with art now until I had like an experience in Morocco that very much changed me. And then after that trip, my relationship with art was all about trying to like make sense of what happened. I'm Libyan and I haven't been to Libya often and like recently just because of politically it's tough to like go back there all the time. Morocco was the first time I went back to like that part of the world at an age where I was a lot more like critical and like aware of my relationship with that culture. It came at a time in my life where like I was used to growing up in like Portland, like suburbia, like very much like a white city and having traumatic things happen there. So going to Morocco was almost like a resurgence and like being familiarized with like who I am, which was different for me to like feel like I relate and like belong, but I'm also like different at the same time, which is something I feel like a lot of like first generation people experience of like feeling too American or not American enough. Making art about figuring out what my relationship to identity and history was. I need to do this to like figure out myself. It's a part of a series of paintings I just started where I like paint iconic like 2000s Arab women pop stars onto wood and then manipulate it in some way where the image is abstracted with like them being removed or there's this component of text. There was something about Arab kitschiness that I'm like really obsessed with right now. Pop star, like saturated, their relationship with like celebrity image and like them upholding like femininity for Arab women in that part of the world. Putting something as like modern and kitschy on like wood I found ironic. I feel like my practice is kind of very literary based. Like I'm obsessed with Arab American authors or like Arab poets and then make art in response to that. It's been a lot of like research in that way with picking out objects of culture. Like I have some posters or like I'll just go out and like source things with the intent of like having this object or this record or this book is material for me to work with. This is like an ongoing series of sculptures I've been making. It's called like Maktoub, and Maktoub's this Arabic word that means like to be written, kind of like fate, like when something's written in the stars. If something's meant for you, it will never pass you. So I think a lot about those kinds of phrases in my life, and so I just wrote down different things in Arabic that I wanted like have this like permanence of like fate. My style I feel like is a lot about archiving and healing an identity in a way that feels more like gentle and like soft. My drawing style isn't that like harsh in the same way. I feel like a lot of my paintings are very like soft and there's something like this about them.